My name is Koku with blackfilm.com. I'm here with Algee Smith, Sanaa Lathan, and Sierra Capri, and we're here to talk about the BET Plus film Young, Wild, Free, which will premiere on Thursday, June 27th on BET Plus, of course. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank
having
you.
Thank you
us.
for having us.
Thank all of you. I do want to start with you, Sierra, because this is a very unconventional love story. And I want to know.
Just a little. Just a little
Just a little bit, girl.
Just a
You
little
know,
bit.
I really want to know what you thought when you first read that script and how you even expected to approach it because it's a pretty wild ride from beginning to end.
Yes. Well, luckily, I got to read a part of the script before auditioning. So, rule number one, I wore a purple wig to the audition and didn't have contacts in. So apparently, it was 7 people in the room, but I didn't see that until after the audition. But no, reading the script, I thought it was unlike anything that I had read before or seen within the community or just in general, period, on screen. So I thought that it was a very important story, and I thought it would be very important for the culture, and it was something that I could relate to, and I felt like for me, if I was going to step out of my comfort zone and do something different, it was definitely the film that I would want to be a part of.
And so now we're really used to you taking on more maybe like a glam figure, maybe even like a softer role, and I should say. But this role takes you to a completely different place, and I want to really know what went into the preparation for this role for you, even in just accepting the script and just knowing what did it take for you to do this?
Yes. Well, it's unfortunate, but good scripts are few and far between. So when you get a good one, you're like, oh yes. And I started in the theater, and one of the joys of acting for me was playing real characters that are completely different from myself, stepping into a different perspective. And, I've been so blessed to play so many beautiful characters in my career. And, but Janice was different from anybody I had ever played. I know Janice. I have an auntie who is Janice. We still have the same apartment in Harlem where my mother and aunt grew up, and there's Janices all over there. And so, I knew her as a kind of an idea, but then the script was so great. There were levels to her, so I was really able to just dive into the psyche of her and her love for her son, and the fact that she's not perfect, and the fact that she's dealing with mental health issues. She's a single mother. I mean, so much compassion. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
And Algee, Brandon had to go through so much to even find himself. And while he's really trying to be like this really great big brother and even a father figure, what did you ultimately think about Cassidy's impact on his life? And is it more good than it is bad when you think about it? Because there's a lot of transformational energy there.
Yeah. What I ultimately think about her impact on Brandon's life, I think it was necessary. I think that even though a lot of unfortunate things may have happened, or a few unfortunate things may have happened, Brandon needed that realization and that awakening to himself to understand that, okay, that's a part of me. Now I have to figure out how to deal with this part of me. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go through that to get to the other side. So I think it was very crucial for him to have her. And yeah, you're right. It's all over the place. It's up and down with them, but it's very necessary. It's very necessary.
No, because I really did watch the film, and I found myself as I'm watching it, I'm like, there's so much about Cassidy where it's like, girl, but at the same time, it's like, there's a lot going on, but you don't hate her.
But sometimes that's a little sexy to a man. That little craziness. You like that a little bit. Like, what is this? Yeah, let me see what this is a little bit.
Hilarious. And so now, because you're wearing multiple hats here, because while you are actually acting in the movie, you're also an executive producer. So I wonder for you, what's it like when you have to step out of this role and then go into the sort of the executive producer top down, looking at things from a larger, bigger picture place? What's that like when you have to kind of like sort of clock out here and go here?
It just, that executive producer kind of director thing comes so naturally to me, to the point where for me, my job is holding my tongue and letting Timby do her thing, you know what I mean? And Tembi was so amazing to work with. I am just so excited about working with Black female directors. I mean, it's in my career, I've only had the chance to do it a couple times, and I loved talking to Tembi, and I loved her vision for this, and I loved her energy on the set. She was really great, right? She just kind of really supported us and was a great calming energy for this kind of hectic journey that all these people are going through. So for me, it was really just about just being there and doing my job and supporting her.
You know, it's funny because one of the things I kind of notice is I interview a lot of people over time, right? So what I like to see is just how people are relating to each other. And I'm like, these people don't hate each other. I think they actually quite like
Oh, you can tell? You can tell? You can tell when...
I'm like, ain't nobody get on each other's nerves today.
No. Meaning like you could tell when people hate each other? You can tell just in this amount of time?
Let me tell you
I
something.
need to keep you around me then. I need to go to a couple places with you.
Let me tell you something, because the answers become very, very black and white.
Wow.
So you can kind of tell. Oh, you can absolutely tell. Ain't nobody that good of an actor. Okay?
No, we had
ain't that many awards in the world.
Oh my God. It was
no,
good.
we had a good time. We
Yeah,
had a good
great
time. It was good energy on the
great.
set.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really good. And I'll ask all of you, but I'll start back with you, Sierra. You know, when you come and you're on a production like this, and it comes to BET Plus, and you're on a network like this, like what does that feel like to say, like, listen, we have a great film here and it's on BET? Like, how does that feel for you?
It feels amazing for me, because I try to, moving forward, I talk about this all the time, but I don't want to do anything that's not authentic to me and who I am. I feel like even if that's happened in the past, moving forward, I just have such a strong sense of self. So I did a movie called American Skin where, to me, that was such a passion project that really felt similar to this in terms of we were just telling an authentic story, but I wanted to be a part of it because it was a real story and it was something that I could relate to. And my brothers, I have 3 older brothers, they could relate to, and my family that's still in Baltimore. So this movie for me was a no-brainer, and it was something that once I read the script, I was like, I don't know what I gotta do to get this part, but I'm like, I want this so bad. So again, I'm very glad that I got to work with these amazing, super crazy talented stars.
And so you auditioned.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're not.
I'm not there yet. I'm not at that point in my career. Oh, no, ma'am.
No, it happens. Let me tell you something, guys. It's going to be like, y'all, I got the perfect role for you.
You know what? I love
about that. She's not going to flex like that right now, but she know all about that life.
Oh, my God.
I love the audition process,
I did
a
million auditions. I got rejected a million
good.
times. And in fact, I sometimes I'll audition for things now that I'll put myself on tape for things now where they're like, oh no, she's not right for it. But I'm like, oh no, let me show you.
Let me show you. Exactly.
So there's no shame in auditioning. This is what we do,
It's
That's
like
part
work.
of the job,
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Okay, folks. So what I would like to ask you guys what each of you thinks about a takeaway from each of your characters that's most principally important. So I'll start with you, Algee.
A takeaway that's most important
about your character. About
Brandon. I would say that I would say one takeaway is that he is actually looking for a solution to problems. He's not just letting life close in on him. Although it seems like it's closing in on him very swiftly, he's not just allowing that to happen. He's actively looking, how can I do this? How can I do that? So a takeaway is even with his mom that he can clearly see is going through mental challenges. He's like, are you gonna get back on? Are you gonna go back to your therapist? Are you gonna do this and do that? So I would say a takeaway is him actively trying through the pressure to get better instead of just letting it overtake him.
Actively trying. And what about Janice?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that, you don't know what her household was like when she was growing up. And, that's one of the reasons why it's hard, because everything starts with that foundation of what you had, what you were able to see, the examples that you had. And so, knowing that, because I created that for her, knowing what she went through, I'm proud of her. Because, her life is not easy with all those kids trying to make ends meet. And having the struggles that she's had, she I was about to curse. Yeah, she messed up a lot, and the answer is not about you messed up, it's over. It's about, okay, how do I remedy this? How do I get back on my feet? How do I try? How do I take the next step? And so she's doing that.
And I think what I'll be, before we get to you, Sierra, what's so important about what you said is that really it allows for compassion, right? I think once we understand that everybody has an origin story, like we all start from a place. It all begins somewhere.
True.
When you understand that, that doesn't mean that you should allow yourself to get beat down, right?
Yeah.
But once you understand where people are coming from, it makes you better understand why the world is what it is. You know? So it's very good.
And less judgmental.
Exactly.
We're in a very judgmental world right now, especially with social media. Everything is like people are not allowed to make mistakes. And it's like, turn, what is it? Don't throw stones at a glass house. Like, look at yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even do it. Go ahead, Sierra. What's the takeaway about Cassidy?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that she's definitely that person that holds up the mirror to you, and I think we all have that type of person in our lives. And it might make us uncomfortable, and we might not like what we're being shown, and it might make us have to dig deeper and really figure out and get to the root of what is wrong or what makes us us or why we act in certain ways. So I think more than anything, that's definitely her. That's definitely her character.
Well, it was very lovely talking to all of you. I learned today, first of all, to have more compassion. I learned to buy myself a purple wig this time.
That's right.
Bring me all the good luck. You guys were wonderful. Once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Algee Smith, Sanaa Lathan, and Sierra Capri. We were here to talk about the BET Plus original film Young, Wild, and Free, which will premiere on Thursday, June 27th. Guys, it's a really great film. And one of the things that I was talking about too is a lot of times you kind of just see the same old script sometimes, right? It's a very original script.
Yes.
It's a very interesting premise. It's really dope. Like it's a great conversation starter. I think it's a good group watch too.
Yes.
Thinking. Like I'm literally like writing stuff down, not even just because I was going to interview you guys, but I just kind of wanted to come back to it.
I love that.
That's sort of how I watch things. So I thought it was great. You guys did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me with y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we could all go to brunch sometime.
Yeah.
Brunch, lunch, and dinner. Why not?
Exactly. She clearly had an experience where people did not like each other.
Mimosas.
It was truly wonderful to meet you guys.
Nice meeting
care.
you. Thank you.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.